Good evening. Welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Kasuni Balachandra.
Good evening, I'm Stefan Dalwis. Let's take a look at the main headlines for tonight.
The President conducts talks with the heads of state with the aim of enhancing development in many sectors in the country. A minor increase in the number of COVID-infected persons in several parts of the country. The health divisions advise people to restrict travel as much as possible. It has been reiterated that the Yugadana V investment is a golden opportunity for the country. The Minister of Power says Sri Lanka's working class is not prepared to become scapegoats of the JVP. A new project to develop 3,000 kilometers of rural and provincial roads.
Now, our top story. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa held fruitful discussions with the heads of state and representatives in Scotland with the aim of promoting trade, tourism and education sectors. The President, who is in Glasgow to attend COP26 UN Climate Change Conference, held these discussions yesterday. President Rajapaksa and the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Bahrain, Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, held discussions on further strengthening the long-standing friendship between Sri Lanka and the Kingdom of Bahrain. Both leaders discussed a wide range of fields, including the possibility of receiving employment opportunities for Sri Lankans with professional skills instead of domestic service. The President and the Prime Minister of Nepal, Sher Bahadur Deuba, discussed increasing the number of flights and promoting tourism and education between the two countries. Sri Lankan Airlines operates 4 flights a week between Nepal and Sri Lanka. The meeting between Commonwealth Secretary-General Patricia Scotland and President Gotabaya Rajapaksa took place at the Merchants' House in Glasgow. Secretary-General Scotland informed the President that the Commonwealth helps member countries to expand market opportunities. The President met with Prince Charles, Prince of Wales, President of Ukraine Vladimir Zelensky, Director General of the World Trade Organization Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, as well as heads of state and representatives of several Middle Eastern and Western countries, and held discussions on enabling new opportunities in tourism, financial and several other sectors in Sri Lanka. Foreign Minister Professor G.L. Pires and High Commissioner of Sri Lanka in the UK, Saroja Sirisena, were also present.
Deputy Director General of Health Services Specialist Physician Dr. Hemant Herat says that a slight increase in the number of COVID-19 patients is being reported from different parts of the country. He therefore requests the general public to curtail their travelling as much as possible.
We know that there are large number of people who are already planned to go out, especially during the coming long weekend. We have observed that large number of people have gathered in different places like religious places, tourist attractions and several other places. Excessive number of people in large numbers consisting of much more than the family units, and they are enjoying definitely, but risking their lives and increasing the risk of spreading the COVID-19 disease among them, and also bringing it back to their homes and infecting their loved ones. So therefore, in this moment, what I would like to advise all of those who have already planned, if there is any possibility to postpone it, it is better to postpone it, because large number of people have already planned to go, and there will be large gatherings in places where you are planning to go. And in case you are going for a trip to a destination of that nature, if you see a large gathering of people, then it is very important to avoid that place and enjoy your trip and your leisure time in a calm and quiet place devoid of large gatherings, so that you will be safe and others will be safe. Best thing is to avoid or postpone your travel arrangements. However, if you are planning to go ahead, I would request everyone to act in a responsible manner, so that we are not going to create a situation that we experienced few months ago.
474 COVID-19 patients have been detected today. 15,015 patients are continuously receiving treatment. 340 patients have been cured today. The total number of fully recovered patients is 513,880. The Director General of Health Services has reported of 21 COVID-19 related deaths which have occurred yesterday. Out of this number, 16 fatalities were of the ages of 60 years or above. The remaining 5 victims were between the ages of 30 and 59. Administering of booster vaccines under the COVID immunization program is being carried out these days. Initially, the booster dose is being delivered to frontline staff in the health sector. Health workers in the Colombo South Teaching Hospital have received the vaccine at the hospital premises today. Inoculating of health staff of the Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital in Colombo has taken place in the St. Luke's Church. On this occasion, the Pfizer vaccine was given to children between the ages of 16 and 20 years. Under the COVID immunization program, total number of 29,181,792 persons in the country have been vaccinated. The number of persons who have received one dose of the vaccine is 50,671,510. The number of persons who have received both doses of the vaccine is 1,351,175. The booster vaccine has so far been delivered on 9,107 persons.
Authorities in the power sector point out that the Yugadanavi investment is an invaluable opportunity accorded to the country. They therefore point out that attention should be focused on long-term benefits, overlooking the short-term problems. They have made these remarks in response to queries raised by media personnel at a special media briefing conducted at the Presidential Media Centre over video technology this afternoon. They have added that 95% of the power requirements have been fulfilled. They also said that low-cost power plants should be erected to meet the power requirements of the people. They added that if not, it would not be able to prevent increases in electricity bills. It has become imperative to reach intermediate power sources based on new concepts and new technology. The LNG power generation is a low-cost and an environmentally friendly method. The authorities have further stated that the transformation scheduled to be conducted at the Yugadanavi power plant is extremely beneficial to the people and profitable to the government. The daily power consumption is increasing rapidly. Chairman of the CEB, MC Ferdinando, said that the production cost of a unit of electricity has increased to 24 rupees. However, the government continues to supply a unit of power to the consumer at the price of 16 rupees and 65 cents. He added that the country was deprived of several power generation projects due to various reasons. It has become compulsory to enhance power generation for a continuous power supply. Chairman of the Lanka Electricity Company, Attorney at Law Athula De Silva, said that the successful outcome of the Yugadanavi investment project would enable foreign industrialists to generate electricity at low cost. The annual power requirements of the national grid is 40,000 million units. General Manager of the CEB, Mr. Ranatunga has said that generation of electricity at a low cost would pave the way for the consumers to receive electricity at relief prices. In answering a query regarding whether the authorities conducted talks with the trade union leaders on the current situation at the Yugadanavi plant, the general manager said that trade unions had never requested for such a discussion. He further said that the authorities are ready for any instance for a meeting with the trade unions. The general manager also said that there is no room for any power cut backs in the country. Additional Secretary of the CB, Dr. Susantha Pereira, has also attended the media briefing.
Minister Gamini Lokage says that the working class of the country is not prepared to become the puppets of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna. This fact has been demonstrated by the extremely low percentage of participation of the workers in their agitations. The minister has made these remarks at a media briefing organized by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna today. Minister Gamini Lokage said that the trade union leader of the CEB said a week ago that they will engage in a strike and the electricity would be cut for a period of 72 hours. He added that the government remained silent as they realized that the people would decide. The minister further said that all engineers, technicians and other cadres were engaged in their duties and there was no possibility for a disruption of power supply. The trade union collective of the Ceylon Electricity Board says that it has no intention to make the country ungovernable and to create an economic collapse by destabilizing the power sector at a time when the government is engaged in efforts to uplift the economy amidst the corona pandemic. Convener of the CEB Trade Union Collective, A.K. Ranjit Subhavira, said that some call this a crisis in the power sector or an electricity mafia. They point out that this is a company monopoly of the power sector. However, the convener of the Trade Union Collective said that the agreement has been signed for a period of only 5 years. After the period, the supplying mechanism of the plants will be transferred. Accordingly, Sri Lanka will control 70% of the generation of electricity in the plants. Only 30% will be left for others. He has questioned as to how one could say there's a monopoly when the country is having 70% of control. Ranjit Subhavira also said only 40% of the shares have been sold. That means 60% of the shares are with the state. He has questioned as to how a group only having 40% of the shares could create a monopoly in the power sector. He also said that the Trade Union Collective of the CEB has no need to destabilize the power sector when the government is attempted to restore the collapsed economy and state entrepreneurs are rising once again. Meanwhile, the National Campaign to Safeguard the Consumer Rights says that certain trade unions have come forward in the LNG struggle in order to extend a helping hand to the diesel electricity mafia. President of the National Campaign to Safeguard Consumer Rights, Ranjit Vithanage, said that the country would incur a loss of 1 billion rupees due to using diesel to generate 300 megawatts of electricity through the LNG system. The consumers will have to bear this loss of 1 billion rupees. He added that the generation of 300 megawatts of electricity at the Kalanithissa plant would incur a further 1 billion rupee loss to the country. He has questioned as to why LNG plants were set up in the country when it does not have LNG facilities. He has charged that some trade unions are playing the game of diesel mafia.
The government has decided to give highest priority to develop rural roads accordingly. A new agreement has been signed today to develop 3,000 kilometers of rural and provincial roads. The government has fully understood the need to upgrade the condition of rural roads. The rural communities are being confronted with many problems due to inadequate maintenance of rural road networks. It has been pointed out that sustainable solutions could be achieved through modernization of the road system. The government, upon realizing the importance of this fact, has taken measures to renovate rural and provincial road infrastructure which remained in a dilapidated state. The total estimated cost of the program to develop 100,000 kilometers of rural roads is $750 million. $500 million out of this amount will be provided by the International Bank on Reconstruction and Development. A pact has been signed today pertaining to this deal with the participation of Minister of Finance Basil Rajapaksa, Secretary to the Minister of Finance S.R. Artigala and Vice Chairman of the World Bank on South Asian Region Hartwig Schaefer have signed the agreement on behalf of the two parties. The Sri Lanka Podujana Educational Services Association says that the agitations organised by assembling parents in front of schools have failed. President of Association Vasanta Handapangoda has expressed her opinion in this regard to the media. President of the Sri Lanka Podujana Educational Services Association Vasanta Handapangoda said that a group comprising Joseph Stalin, Mahinda Jayasinghe, Bhikkhu Yalavela, Mohan Parakrama Veerasinghe and Jagat Ananda have prepared the agitation, sending SMS messages to parents to attend the event. However, the protest was not regarding salary discrepancy but to safeguard free education. The agitations were scheduled to be conducted in front of schools from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. using slogans not to levy charges from parents for children's education. This change in attitude has reflected the fact that their so-called struggles are weakening. The agitators have expected the participation of around 500 parents in these events, but the parents did not attend these agitations. The agitation scheduled to be conducted in front of the Vishaka Vidyalaya was a total failure. Vasanta Handapangoda also said that their efforts are motivated by a conspiracy to topple the government. The government is acting with maximum cooperation in the face of an economic crisis. Therefore, she added that they, as the Sri Lanka Podujana Educational Services Association, will never leave room for the creation of such acts of destabilization. These events have shown the pathetic plight of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna and the Frontline Socialist Party.
The Mahasangha say that the cooperation of all groups concerned will be extended on the government's program to ban the usage of chemical fertilizer. The Venerable Theras point out that it is regretting to note that certain groups are engaged in propagating false information regarding this issue with the intention of seeking political advantages. Venerable Ittakande Sadatissa, Venerable Magalkande Sudantha and Venerable Madile Panyalokateras were engaged in a field tour in farmlands in the northwestern province to inquire into the problems faced by farmers who use organic fertilizer. The objective has been to directly identify their problems and present them to the President and the relevant divisions. The Venerable Teras have met Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage at the Ministry of Agriculture this morning. They have enlightened the Minister on the problems identified and the practical situation pertaining to the issue. The Mahasangha have educated the Minister on the problems relating to production. Inquiries have also been made on this occasion regarding the Chinese ship which brought organic fertilizer into the country. Upon the discussion, they have met State Minister Shashindra Rajapaksa and presented facts to him as well.
The Uttama Mata Gunasamru Puja program was conducted at the D.A. Rajapaksa Commemoration Circle in Embelipitia with the participation of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Yesterday, the event was held in memory of Mrs. Dona Dandina Samarasinghe Dissanayake, wife of late D.A. Rajapaksa. The Gunasamru Puja has been organised for the 5th occasion by member of the Embelipitia Urban Council, K. Ruwan Pathirana, Chief Adhikarana Sangha Nayaka of Dakshina Lanka, Venerable Omalpe Sobitathera, has presided over the event. Madam Shiranti Vikramasinghe Rajapaksa has garlanded a portrait of Dona Dandina Samarasinghe. People's representatives, including Minister Chama Rajapaksa, has placed floral tributes. Commemoration address has been delivered by Director General of Government Information Mohan Samaranayake. Delivering the commemoration speech, Director General of Government Information Mohan Samaranayake said that he is not aware of the personal details of Mrs. Dandina Dissanayake, but he could assume that she was an exceptional woman with rare qualities. He further said that her husband D.A. Rajapaksa had played a pioneering role in the great transformation of eras in the year 1956. The year had recorded a crucial political and social upheaval in the country since the independence. The Director of Government Information in his also said that late Mrs. Dissanayake had been extremely fortunate to be the mother of a president who held the post on 2 occasions: the present president, several ministers and members of parliament. She has entered history as a mother of excellence. Mohan Samaranayake has also stated that Sri Lanka today is like an argonaut caught in the clutches of a scissor. Every powerful country in the world wants to control Sri Lanka according to their wishes. They want to take control of the country. He added that if we have not realized this threat and did once again the blunders of 1977 or in 2015, the country would fall into an abyss from which it could never be recovered. He added that even now a leading political party leader is uttering in public that 5-year period is not enough and that he needed 25 years of rule. Mohan Samaranayake also said that if that person got the 25 years he wanted, it is inevitable of the country becoming a puppet colony of a powerful capitalist state of the world. Sri Lanka would become a playground of multinational companies. Among those who have graced the occasion included Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi, State Ministers Lohan Ratwatta, Janaka Vakkumbara and Chief Executive Officer of the Palawatta Sugar Company, Gamini Rasaputra.
The state Katina Puja ceremony will be conducted at the Kolambagama Mugunara Rajamahaviharya in Panduasnuara on the 14th of this month. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa will participate in this meritorious event, which is scheduled to be conducted for the 2nd occasion. A media briefing regarding this event was held at the Department of Government Information yesterday. State Minister Dayasri Jayasekara said that an extremely large group of people, including the President and the Prime Minister, have started to wear batik clothes to celebrate the new year. The first and second citizen of the country have set an example for the others to follow them. The State Minister further said that they are able to implement a program to fully halt the importing of robes. There are opportunities to manufacture atapirikara and robes within the country. The State Minister further said that every citizen is able to contribute to this national effort on self-sufficiency.
Minister of Trade Bandula Gunawardena says the Lanka Satosa has taken measures to grant relief to the consumer at a time when the entire world is being subjected to price increases in essential items. Addressing a media briefing, the minister said that the cabinet has taken a decision to import rice as consumers are compelled to pay higher prices. Accordingly, the first stock of imported Nadu rice will be distributed to Satosa outlets island-wide. A consumer will be able to purchase 5 kilograms at a price of 99 rupees per kilogram. The private sector has also been granted permission to import rice till the 31st of December. He added that therefore the price of a kilogram of rice in the market would come below 100 rupees within the next 2 or 3 weeks. The appeal court has ordered today to reject without being examined a petition filed to issue an order to annul the government's decision to appoint former Minister Ajit Nivard Cabral as the governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. The order has been delivered by a panel of judges comprising Justices Sobita Rajakaruna and Dhammika Ganepola. The Attorney General, raising preliminary objections at the hearing of the case, said that Ajit Nivard Cabral has been appointed by the President. He has raised objections against issuing a writ order challenging the appointment, as the appointment has been made according to Clause 35 of the Constitution. The panel of judges said that the petitioner has failed to clearly state the objective of filing the case, and therefore the petition filed by former Governor Rajith Kirti Tennakun was rejected. The respondents in this case were Attorney General, Inspector General of Police, former Minister Ajit Nivard Cabral, President Secretary, Minister of Finance and Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, T.M.J.Y. Fernando. The forensic audit report pertaining to the losses incurred by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka during the tenure of Ajit Nivard Cabral as Governor of the bank was presented to the AG by the bank. The petitioner has charged that the AG had not taken appropriate legal action against the accused. The petitioner has also requested the Court of Appeal, through his submission, to issue a writ order to the IGP to arrest Ajit Nivard Cabral and record a statement from him.
The 36th Kalabhushan State Awards presentation ceremony was conducted at the Bandaranaike Memorial International Conference Hall in Colombo today. State Minister Vidura Vikramanayake has presided over the event. The ceremony has been jointly organized by the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, Department of Cultural Affairs, Department of Hindu Religious and Cultural Affairs, Department of Christian Religious Affairs and the Department of Muslim Religious and Cultural Affairs. The objective has been to felicitate artists who have rendered an excellent service for the well-being of the Sri Lankan arts. The awards have been presented in a manner to reflect their achievements in the fields of arts, literature, indigenous medicine, performance arts, paintings and mouldings, as well as media communication.
That's it for the news this evening. Have a good night.
Good night.